Another crew member lies beside the tools of his duty.
Debris from the vessel lies scattered across the ocean floor.
Weapons once deadly now lie silent, their history hidden beneath rust and silt. Each hatch tells a story of decades beneath the cold Atlantic waves.
Navigation tools, corroded yet intact, hint at the crew's last journeys.
At 90 meters below, the lost U-boat of the Atlantic rests undisturbed.
The vessel's hull, corroded by decades of salt water, bears the faded insignia of the Kriegsmarine.
Its name, barely visible under years of corrosion, tells the story of a doomed wartime mission. Inside the shattered hatches, silent witnesses remain, trapped in their final moments. A crewman, frozen in time, still wears his uniform decades later. Navigation tools, corroded yet recognizable, tell the story of life aboard this U-boat. Even the periscope, once a tool of stealth, is now a rusted relic. Weapons of war, now silent, tell the grim story of this sunken vessel. Decades beneath the waves have transformed this deadly machine into an eerie underwater monument.
The U-boat's exterior shows the scares of battles long past.
Even the smallest hatches reveal the human presence frozen in time.
From behind, the sheer size of the vessel is both imposing and haunting.
Unit markings, worn by decades underwater, are still faintly readable.
Personal gear tells stories of the crew who never returned home.
The deck's collapse hints at decades of relentless ocean pressure and corrosion.
Inside storage compartments, remnants of wartime supplies lie forgotten. Even the controls, now frozen in time, hint at life on board.
Each scar tells a silent story of battles fought and the unforgiving ocean.
The ghostly vessel continues its eternal vigil beneath the waves. The periscope base, worn and corroded, once guided this vessel through deadly waters. Inside, the crew's final moments are frozen beneath layers of sediment and rust.
The deck, fractured by time, is a fragile testament to decades underwater.
Each weapon, now silent, holds decades of untold history.
A lone crewman remains, his uniform a haunting reminder of the past. From above, the vessel resembles a ghost drifting in the deep. Even the machinery, frozen in time, hints at the life that once powered this sub. Inside the wreck, the remnants of technology and human effort decay together. The scars of war and time are etched into every inch of the hull.
Decades under the waves have turned a war machine into an eerie underwater monument.
Tools of war, now silent, preserve the last moments of the crew. The vessel's exterior, scarred and fractured, is a ghostly reminder of conflict. The periscope, frozen in position, once scouted the Atlantic waters for danger. Unit numbers, still faintly readable, tell of the U-boat's wartime missions.
The conning tower, scarred and crumbling, looms like a ghostly sentinel.
The crew's presence is frozen in time, haunting, yet still human.
From all angles, the wreck tells its silent, tragic tale.
This sunken U-boat, a relic of war, remains frozen in the Atlantic depths.
The U-boat's identity remains etched in corroded metal, decades under the sea. From above, the wreck resembles a ghost ship frozen in time. The crew's presence is preserved, trapped in the final moments of history. Even the smallest instruments speak volumes about life aboard this U-boat.
The vessel's exterior is a ghostly canvas of time and corrosion.
The periscope, frozen in position, once watched for enemy ships across the Atlantic.
Each hatch and marking tells a story of the missions this U-boat undertook.
Inside, the remnants of human life remain untouched by time.
The sunken U-boat continues its silent vigil beneath the Atlantic waves.
The smallest gaps in the hull now serve as shelter for deep-sea life. The insignia of the Kriegsmarine still clings to the corroded steel.
A massive deep-sea predator glides silently out of the darkness. For a moment, the wreck is claimed by a true resident of the deep. As the giant disappears, the silent wreck regains its stillness. Personal gear remains where it fell, untouched for decades. Inside the narrow corridors, the echoes of the past feel almost alive.
The torpedo racks stand empty, their purpose long since ended.
The U-boat remains, a silent monument to war and the deep sea.
Time has turned every crack in the hull into a refuge for ocean life.
The submarine's markings still whisper its identity beneath layers of decay.
The twisted propeller marks the end of this vessel's final journey. The rudder, once steering through combat zones, now drifts in stillness.
Cargo crates remain sealed, their contents lost to time.
The stern bears the same scars as the rest of the vessel. Inside the engine room, the heart of the submarine lies silent.
Another crewman remains where he fell, preserved by the cold depths. The rear deck has collapsed under decades of ocean pressure.
The final section of the U-boat fades back into the deep. Even the stern hatches show the heavy toll of time and salt. The submarine's final identifiers remain etched in corroded steel.
The deep reveals its true inhabitants, watching from the shadows.
The silent giant disappears as quickly as it arrived.
The last readings of the U-boat systems remain locked in time. The tangled remains of the engine room
show the vessel's mechanical heart.
Every tool left behind tells a story of work abruptly ended. The submarine's body remains a silent corridor, reminding us of war's reach.
The wreck stands unchanged, a permanent fixture of the deep.
The interior walls crumble, slowly returning to the sea. Even inside, the vessel's name still whispers through layers of decay. The crew's living space remains frozen in their final moments.
Personal belongings still wait where they were left behind.
Each tag once carried a name, now lost to time.
The tight passageways reveal how confined life aboard this U-boat truly was.
The radio, once a lifeline to the outside world, is now silent. Small personal items remain, reminders of daily life in wartime. Leaving the interior, the full scale of the wreck becomes clear once more.
The silent submarine remains, a haunting monument beneath the sea.
The U-boat's name still clings to the steel, refusing to be forgotten. The emblem of a wartime fleet remains etched in decay.
One last crewman stands watch, long after the war has ended.
Beyond the wreck, the deep sea continues its silent motion.
The true guardians of the deep move quietly through the wreck's shadow. The diver prepares to leave the silent witness of history behind.
From above, the vessel appears as a shadow frozen in time.
The past remains untouched, resting where it fell.
The deep slowly reclaims its secrets once more. Beneath the Atlantic, the U-boat remains, a silent monument to a war long past.